Welcome students. I am Nazmul Islam Munshi, Assistant Teacher, Police Lines School and College, Rangpur. Today I will take a class 1 right form of verbs. So the learning outcomes of the right form of verbs are you will be able to understand the correct form of verbs. Then you will know different structure of the sentences, and then you will be very much clear about different form of the verbs. Rule number 1. In a sentence, if you get always, often, most often, sometimes, every day, regularly, generally, daily, occasionally, usually, normally, and if the sentences or sentence expresses present situation, the sentence will be in the present indefinite tense. For example, generally he goes to bed at 10 p.m. So you see, in that sentence, generally is here. So the sentence expresses present indefinite tense. Then rule number 2. If a sentence expresses negative expression without the auxiliary verb, after subject we put do not or does not according to the subject. Again, if the sentence contains auxiliary or modal verbs, we put not after the modal or auxiliary verb. Again, to make the sentence interrogative, we put do, oblique does, modal, oblique auxiliary before the subject according to the sentence. For example, many people do not drive on the slippery road. Does Allah help an indolent person? For example, I have received your letter just now. Lately, I have read a novel by Shakespeare. Have you ever heard the name of Shakespeare? So affirmative sentence, interrogative sentence. Okay. Then rule number 5. If a sentence starts with would that, so after the subject we put could and the verb will be in the base form or present form. For example, would that I could go to America. Rule number 6. Sentence with having verb will be in the past participle form. For example, having finished his meal, the marriage guest left the place. Rule number 7. Sentence with mind, worth, without, could not help, cannot help, would you mind, look forward to, object to, be used to, prefer, get round to, in addition to, with a view to, verb will be in the ing form. So you have to add ing after the verb according to the rules. For example, in order to keep pace with the modern world, we cannot help learning English. Then I look forward to hearing from you. So you can see to is here, but for look forward to, here verb takes ing here. Okay. Rule number 8. If the sentence contains as if or as though, and if the first part of the sentence is in the present indefinite form or present perfect tense, the next part will be in the past indefinite tense. And if the first part of the sentence is in the past indefinite tense, the next part or next portion or next clause will be in the past perfect tense. Again, in case of to be verb, there will be where. So you have to write where there. For example, he talks as if he knew the fact. He spoke as if he had gone mad. So in the first example, you see, it is the first portion is in present indefinite form, so the next portion is in the past indefinite form, and in the next sentence the first portion of as if is in the past indefinite form, the next portion of it is in the past perfect tense. Another example, he talks as though he were a king. So you may think that, or you may think that why was is not here, he was a king. But for as though, you have to write where. You cannot write was there. Another example, I wish I were a bird. Rule number 9. If in a sentence you get it is time, it is high time, wish or fancy, the verb will be in the past form. For example, it is high time you studied for the examination. So for it is high time, the next portion after the subject, you have to make past form of the verb. And of course, the verb will be in the past participle form. Another rules, if you get had plus subject plus past participle form of the verb, the next clause will be like the previous one, like that. After subject you have to use would have or could have or might have and the past participle form of the verb. For example, if you waste your time, you will suffer in the long run. Another example, unless you study hard, you may fail in the examination. Another example, if I knew the matter, I could settle the dispute. If I had known the matter, I might have solved the problem. So according to the rules, the examples are given. Okay, so be aware of the rules. Another example, had I learned this earlier, I could have informed you of the matter. Rule number 11. Sentence with while without a subject. So if while, after while you cannot get you do not get any subject, then you have to follow the rules. The verb will be in the ing form, and if you get subject after while, then the tense will be in the continuous form. For example, while bidding farewell to my sister, my parents burst into tears. In that example, you see, after a while, no subject is available. So, after a while, you have to add ing or the rules of ing. Okay. While he was walking in the garden, a snake bit him. So, in that sentence, you see, after a while, he is the subject here. So, you have to make the sentence in the past continuous form. So while he was walking in the, a snake bit him. Rule number 12. If the sentence is in the passive form or the is not doer, the subject is not doer, that means the sentence is in the passive form or the sentence is passive, the auxiliary verb will be according to the subject and the verb always will be in the past participle form. Again, sometimes passive sentence follows the reduced passive structure form. In that case, the passive will be without to be verb and the main verb will be in the past participle form. So if you look at the example, you will be clear about the fact. The first example or the first rule, computer was not invented overnight. So you cannot write computer was not inventing overnight. Okay, because here the subject is not doer. The sentence is in the passive form. Reduced passive form, you see, a country can provide its people with education required for modern aspects of life. So here required without to be verb. So this is the example of reduced passive form. we become strange to see after had no past participle form, but it is not had, it is had better. So you have to verb in the present form. The next rule: now I am learning to take things easy. Rule number 14: no sooner had dotted than, scarcely had dotted when, hardly had dotted before or when in the sentence. The first will be in the past participle form, past participle, and the next verb will be in the past form. So the first verb will be in the past participle form and the next verb will be in the past form. For example, no sooner had he seen the police than he ran away. Rule number 15. Two clauses with before in the middle. The first clause will be in the past perfect tense and the second clause will be in the past indefinite tense. After in the middle, the first part will be in the past indefinite tense and the next part will be in the past perfect tense. For example, we had reached there before the gate opened. The train started after we had reached the station. Number 16. Since with two clauses, if the first clause is in the present tense, the next clause will be in the past indefinite tense. If it is in the past indefinite tense, the next one will be in the past perfect tense. Example: many years passed since we had met last. Rule number 17. If list is used in the sentence, after list the clause will check should or might after the subject. For example, he ran fast, lest he should miss the English class. If you get the structure if plus subject plus where,